Sharp Game here. Do they show black men love in other countries? Japan, China, Brazil, Canada, Australia, Dubai. I can go on and on. The answer is yes and no. Do they show the black man love in America? Absolutely not. Not in America. Overseas, in other countries, it just depends on where you go. And it depends on what type of guy you are when it comes to that shit. For example, when I was in the military, I was stationed in Japan for 4 years. And I had a lot of friends that got married, and I had a lot of people that I knew that got married. People I worked with, or just some random people I used to see just passing through. But I was scared as shit to get married in the military because of what I saw when I was over there, man. I mean, guys are getting married like crazy. And, one day you see them married, and when the ships pulls out, the wives come out, hanging out at the clubs. Women that you never seen before, they're partying their ass off, and they all wrapped up with another guy while the husband's gone. And this is like an epidemic. This is like how people live, and a lot of women live on military bases, or the ones that maybe they live outside the military bases. So I realized after a while, a lot of these women, they're just getting married for benefits. Maybe they want a green card. Maybe they want to live better. Maybe they have a dream of moving to the United States of America. Maybe they want kids. Maybe they want to bring their family to the United States one day along with them. Maybe that's a dream that they have. Or maybe they just had a fetish for a black man. I don't know. But at the time, I just didn't want to have anything to do with that shit. I didn't like what was going on. And I stayed. This only happened. I only had this experience because I was on base. Because I came back from off vacation and the ship pulled out without me. So I was on base for about 2 to 3 weeks the first time. And the second time I went on vacation and the same thing happened again. The ship pulled out without me. And I was on base for about a week. And I saw the same events taking place both times. And what I've learned is, even I had my own little experience, but I just never got married. I never thought about getting married because I made a promise to myself that I would never get married. But what I've learned throughout that experience is that just because a lot of these women are good at manipulating guys, and just because a woman treats you nice, showers you down with gifts, and makes you feel good about yourself, a lot of times they're doing that because they're just manipulating you. They're doing it out of a kind of a way because they're looking for something in return. It's like a return on their investment. So that's where things get a little problematic, because this is why I say it depends on what type of guy you are. Because if you're the right type of man, you have to be able to filter that shit out. You have to be able to navigate and get around that bullshit. This is why I say I always say you have to have your own standards, your own rules, your own way of being, and you have to make decisions that's in the best interest for you, not her. You have to live for you, not her. But see, the problem with a lot of guys is they put women on a pedestal, right? And then when you put women on a pedestal like that, she's not gonna respect you. The only way she's gonna look at you is to look down. And another thing you have to realize is that a lot of these women don't get treated in the other countries like they do, like women get treated in America. That's another thing you have to realize when you go overseas. Now, these women, let's say you leave America and you go to Brazil, you go to Japan, you go to China, you go to Vietnam, you go to Australia, you go to Dubai. Now these women know that you don't know that much, because you haven't been there. More than likely, you haven't been there long enough to know that much. So a lot of them are kind of betting or kind of assuming that they can automatically take advantage of you, that you're the prize, you're the ideal guy from their perspective, right? Now, there are some guys I know that meet good women, and they still together today, living happily ever after. They got kids. Some of them are all over the place. Some of them in Japan, some in Brazil, some in Australia, some in Hawaii, some in Mexico. They're all over the place. But the majority, I'm gonna say about 50% are okay. All right, I'm gonna say about 56. I'm gonna say 60% of the guys I know that live overseas, they're okay. They don't really have anything to worry about. But there's the other 30%, it didn't work out, and the other 10% is suspect. You know, and a lot of it, and I'm not even counting the guys that's in the military. Now, if I count the guys that's in the military, well, those numbers are gonna be crazy. Those numbers are gonna like flip flop. If I count the guy that's in the military, I'm talking to guys that's not even in the military. I'm talking to guys that's just citizens or living in another country or something like that. You know, but you just have to be the right kind of guy. See, it's really on you as a man. You can't really put the value on the women so much. That's a mistake. You gotta stop putting values on the women. It's up to you. You have to be the right type of dude. That's why you should never go out and chase any woman. At best, all you can do is invite. That's it. So if you're the right type of man, she'll seek you out. If you're out and about, whether you're at work, restaurant, bar, seminar, it doesn't matter where you at. Because I always say my philosophy is, I'm looking for people that's looking for me. So when you meet these women, it doesn't matter where you at. It should be natural. You shouldn't have to pull teeth. You shouldn't have to try hard. It shouldn't be like a job. It shouldn't feel like work. It should be effortless. It should be like a natural progression. You're sitting down having a conversation, or standing up having a conversation, whatever. But if it's not like that, if it's like you gotta pull teeth, or you feel like something ain't right, well, get out of there. You know. But what I would say, if I compare the experiences a lot of guys are having overseas compared to the experiences the black men are having in America, oh, it don't get too much. It doesn't get too much worse than the black man in America. The black men in America are we've lost. We're getting our ass kicks. Now, a lot of black women have turned against us, for a lot of different reasons, which, it's too long for this video. And, a lot of, at least to me, a lot of them have the mentality of a white guy. So, if I really do a comparison based on the men that I know, they live in a much better, fulfilling life overseas than they are here in America. And, there's a lot of reasons for that, because living in other countries, women don't have a lot of benefits. And they don't have there's no child support and all that crap. And I mean, everyone take care of the kids because they're obligated to, but they don't have to go through the court. No one really goes through the court system, and there's no, in other countries they just don't operate like that, because in America this is a capitalistic country, and in other countries they don't play that game. They don't play the status quo game. So there's not a lot of that crap. How a woman can get a divorce and take up to 80% of your assets and resources. There's not a lot of that in other countries. If the couples get a divorce, they just get a divorce and that's it. But it's not as complicated as living in America. Living in America, it's like you got to play the game with the attorneys. They trying to drain you for as much money as possible, and they're telling the woman one thing, and the both attorneys are usually working together anyway, because they all know each other in cahoots together. And the woman, most of the time she's so ignorant, because 9 times out of 10 she wanted a divorce, because most women in America file for divorce. Most guys in America don't file for divorce. That's across the board. That's just not just a black thing. That's across the board. Most women in America file for divorce, and they put the guy on child support. So that's the new hustle. But in other countries, they don't really have the same capitalistic system that they do in America. So the women in other countries, even if they wanted all this child support and benefits and to go through all this process, they can't do it. And the best they can do is hustle for the green card. I mean, if they wanted to come to America one day or whatever. But I wouldn't care. I mean, because if I'm living in Japan, and if we don't work out for any reason, I wouldn't care. You go your way, I go my way. Shit didn't work out. It was a nice run. No beef. Take care. That's it. But black men are getting treated way better than in America. That's a fact. The numbers the pros outweigh the cons. So, if you like what you heard in this video, subscribe to my channel. So until next time, Sharp Game is out.